crazy looking.
Jim, like neurologists have looked at this. He walks like a guy with dementia. That's how they walk.
My dad had dementia. He didn't walk anything like that guy.
Not all people with dementia walk like that, but it's typical of the way people walk when they don't have control of their body anymore. Like he fell down a lot. Like it's very like
the bicycle went down. I got it.
It's a lot of things. He fall down walking upstairs. Remember?
Yeah, I remember.
3 times.
I remember.
You think it's a robot?
I didn't say it's 100% robot. I'm saying I will put my chips in. I'm at the poker table. And they're like, you're really going in, all in, that was not Joe Biden. I'm going all in, that's not Joe Biden.
I'm going to show you.
Never was.
Okay.
From 2020 on, it never was.
I don't think this is a productive line of conversation. But
that's just me.
I get it.
Here, watch this, Joe.
Yeah, watch this. What? Like,
yeah.
What?
But he's walking in sand, and he's old as fuck, dude. He's walking in sand.
I get it.
If I walk in sand and I'm drunk, I look just like that.
He's had a lot of blood thinners there. Maybe they got to his head. I don't know. He's got a stent.
Jamie, I'm going to send you something. This is state of the art right now when it comes to robots. And it's pretty fucking good, man. Pretty fucking good. But it's not that. These are robots that can actually do martial arts. It's very impressive.
I feel like I just saw something like this. It was frightening.
It's from China.
To a degree.
Yeah, it's from China. So go full screen on this. This is really interesting. So you got these kids. They get out there, and these robots do martial arts with them. Like, look at this. It's really wild, man. I mean, it's pretty human.
Now,
its movements.
If they had suit and ties on, they can pass for a president.
Not yet. Not yet. But look at these things. They can do backflips. Like, this is crazy. They do wheel kicks.
Come on.
It's really nuts, man. So just imagine these things with fucking ARs just running into buildings, gunning people down. Because that's what's coming.
Bro, there's a place.
They're going to be bulletproof. They're going to have night vision, heat vision, insane hearing.
There's a place in Florida, bro, that have the out in the Everglades. And it's like this farmland. You never see anyone there, but they have the mechanical robot dogs, patrolling everywhere and spraying the fields.
The dogs spray the field?
There's like all different types of machines that come up and that will like spray the field, and they have the dogs that patrol everywhere. It's wild.
You can buy one.
I never saw any of that. You can buy them now?
Yeah, you can buy those robots. Yeah,
I think
Les was telling me about it.
I think I want one.
Lex Friedman, he actually works with robotics. Like he was an artificial intelligence engineer before he ever started doing podcasts.
You're like the movie The Fifth Element when the chick came and she got all the information. Like, I'm always fascinated. You have so much information, like brilliant insight information. Who's left on your list where you're like, I want to look at it. I need to speak with so-and-so.
Oh, there's a ton of people. There's always new, like I get a list of every week, multiple days a week, I get a list of potential guests. And so I go over the list, and a lot of it is scientists. A lot of it is like people that are doing groundbreaking research on like neurodevelopment, genetics. There's a lot of them that come up that are cosmologists that are working on, just bizarre theories. There's always someone that's working on some, like very high level of some esoteric line of, some kind of discipline that I've got very little information about. There's always interesting people.
It blows my mind.
Yeah.
It blows my mind. I tried talking to anyone, even some of the words, I'm not educated very well. They start saying certain words, and I'm ready.
I'm not formally educated.
Oh, no.
Well, I only went to college for 3 years, and I was barely paying attention.
I didn't pay attention.
I was only going to college so that people didn't think I was a loser. I was
really?
Doing it, yeah, I was doing it while I was fighting, and then I was doing it for a little bit while I was still doing stand-up, but I was only doing it so that no one thought I was a loser.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that was that like a home thing? Like
no, it was where I grew up. Everybody was going to college. I went to school at a really good high school, Newton South in Massachusetts, and a lot of the kids were, you know, real ambitious and wanted to go to college and get degrees, and I did not want to have a job. I was like, what am I doing? I was like very feral. And at the time, all I wanted to do was compete. I was just doing martial arts tournaments all the time, and there was no money in that, you know. So I was like, what's my career? Like, what am I doing? So this is weird period. So I said, let me just go to college so that no one thinks I'm a loser. So I took a year off school. So from graduated at 17. So the next year, I didn't go to school at all. I just trained.
I don't know the story. So when did you go? I'm going to start doing stand-up.
When I was 21.
And did you have that desire before then?
Not really. No, I was a fan of stand-up. I love stand-up. I was talked into doing it by my friend Steve. He's a good buddy of mine, Steve Graham. Because I would make people laugh. He was a guy I did Taekwondo with.
And he was like, dude.
And another good friend, Ed Shorter. Same thing. Ed and Steve were two guys who I was real tight with that, you know, I would make fun of everybody, and we were always just joking around.
Right.
And I wanted a lot of attention. I was young.
You know,
yeah,
I did.
So that's how, and then I went to an open mic night, and I realized, oh, these people they suck. They're beginners. Like, oh, you could be a beginner, and then I thought about it just like martial arts. If you just work at it, you can be better at it. You know, so if you're just like a little bit funny, if you can just kind of figure out what it is about you. I was like, this is fascinating. It was like a whole new puzzle. But I didn't know if I could ever do it for a living. I was really so confused when I was 21 because I really kind of decided to stop fighting. And I was still doing it a little bit, but I had like 1 foot in and 1 foot out, which is not good. And then I didn't have any prospects. Like, what am I going to do? I'm already 21. Like, I should have already graduated from college by now, or be close, or getting ready to work on a master's. I should be doing something like a lot of the people that I went to high school with, or I should have a trade like a lot of my buddies that went into carpentry or electricity. You know, I didn't have a career other than teaching.
So within a couple of years, you start, because you and I both fairly quickly started getting in good positions. And because if you were 21, I'm going to say by 25, 26, you're on hardball.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were really young. That's
crazy.
That's
crazy
how
lucky.
Fast that happened.
Yeah, it happened stupid fast. It happened stupid fast and it was stupid lucky. Because I didn't have any aspirations to ever be on TV. There was no part of me that wanted to be an actor on TV. Zero. It was never an ambition at all, which probably helped me. Because when I went in and, you know, talked to the people and did auditions and shit, it wasn't like, oh my God, this is my dream. It was like, So what do you guys want me to do? Okay. Yeah, I could play a baseball player. Okay. And they just loved the fact that I was, you know, had a background in athletics. So I knew a lot about.
You also would murder like none other at the Laugh Factory. You would go up, and I remember the Disney executives, because that's who did that. I remember them sitting in the back watching you. You did the lions, whatever, tigers mating, and it would just, the place would lose their shit. Like, and you, and it was captivating. Watch, it was howling funny, and I'll never forget just looking at the executives. And I don't remember their name. I just remember he had a mustache. He had a dark mustache, dark hair. He's from Colorado. He was like, oh my God, Joe's just so goddamn fun. I can't take it. So wow, that's pretty awesome. In that short period of time, I wish I had. No, I won't say I wish I had your mentality then. I have it now, meaning back then I had the desire, like, I'm gonna start buying satin clothes, and I just I'm gonna start getting nice clothes. You know,
Satin clothes.
I went satin the first time I went out there. I bought satin blue pants and satin blue. I was like, I'm gonna be in Hollywood. It was so retarded, Well, but you had this whole other. I remember seeing you, and you were like, we were at some hotel, and you were just so. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna go play pool and work out. You want to? I'm like, what? No, I'm looking for rock stars and actors on Melrose. And you're like, yeah, well, I'm not doing that. I'm going to the gym and I'm working. I'm like, you're going to miss out. And but I really I loved and I admired that about you so much.
Oh, thanks. But I was never interested in like Hollywood stuff. It just was not that interesting to me to be around a bunch of famous people and feel weird. I was like, I'd just rather be around normal people. I'd rather play pool, rather go to the gym.
I was like that until I was around famous people.
And then
I
you're
went,
okay. This is uncomfortable.
I want to go home. I want to go back home.
Oh, I tried to move back to New York. I would have moved back to New York, except I had a lease. I had a lease on an apartment. When Hardball got canceled, I was ready to go back to New York. I was like, fuck this place. This is too uncomfortable for me. And again, I never had any aspirations to be famous. I definitely didn't have any aspirations to act. It was just money. They gave me a lot of money to be on a sitcom. And I was like, okay. I just couldn't believe how much money you could get in a week. Like, this is crazy.
It was crazy.
Yeah. It was like more money than I made in a year, and I could make it in a week. I was like, this is nuts. Especially because I went from broke to being on a sitcom.
Yeah. I remember those same things. Like, you're not making any money. And then all of a sudden, like, you're like $25,000 to $50,000 a week. You just come in camera block here and there, and you don't even have to be the star.
It was bananas. What? But then when I got on news radio, I was like, oh, this is a whole different kind of thing. Like, this is a really good show, really good writing, really good actors. I was like, this is fun. Like, that I enjoyed a lot. But it's the world of acting is long days, and it's not what I like to do the most. So it was like, you know, it's great, but you can get sucked into that velvet prison, and then, you know, you'd be like, I'd be talking to my friends and be like, yeah, I just did a week in Florida. It was fucking awesome. Went in there on Wednesday, and I was realizing, like, these guys are selling out on the road, and they're traveling all the time. They're having all this fun. I'm like, they're doing what I wanted to do, which was, like, stand up, like, on the road. Right. But I was only doing, like, small sets in town. I was only doing, like, 15 minutes at the Laugh Factory, 15 minutes at the store. You know, it's like, the real comedy was like headlining, doing an hour, really developing your act.
Right.
And it was like, I enjoyed doing news radio, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed being around comics, doing sets, being at the clubs, laughing all the time. It's like a different kind of people. The actor people were all worried about what the other actor people were doing. They were all worried about, like what rating we were, what number we were in the ratings.
Correct. Yes, and that's all they would talk about.
Dude, we were at a table once, and they were all bitching about how, you know, we were on, you know, whatever night we were on. We moved like 9 times over 5 years.
Right.
And back then there was no internet, so you couldn't tell people that you're not on Monday night anymore, you're not on whatever it was. And so they were all bitching and getting pissed because Sex and the City was on this time slot, and the single guy was in this time slot, and if we were there, we would be number 2 or whatever.
Right.
And I was like, guys, last time I checked, we're on TV. Yeah. Like, this is a dream. Yeah, we're not number 1, but we have a funny show, and we're on TV. Just fucking enjoy the ride.
Yeah, and it was a great show.
It was a lot of fun.
It was a great show, and it did well, but yeah, that world just never...
But it was just so lucky to get it so quick. You know, I was on news radio 6 years into doing stand-up.
Yeah.
And it didn't make any sense to me. But it's also why I wasn't nervous about it. It was like, it seemed so normal to me.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is a job I'm doing. But it was because I didn't want to do it. Not that I didn't want to do it, but because it wasn't like my ultimate dream.
Well, that made me laugh. I saw you years later, and I don't know if it was Fear Factor or whatever, and someone snarkily, like in a snarky way, were like, why did you take this? And you're like, because they're paying me fucking retarded money. They offered fucking retarded money. Like, you wouldn't do this for whatever the episode. And it made me laugh. So it's just, you gave the real answer. Like, if I offered you whatever program, I'm going to offer you, I don't know, $20 million for 2 years, you're going to go, I'm not doing that. That's ridiculous. Why would I leave my sanitation job to...
Money equals freedom. And that's what people need to understand. Like, if you can make a pile of money, you get fuck you money. And then the key is, don't be chasing fuck your mother and fuck your family and fuck the world money. Stick with fuck you money, but just make sure you say fuck you. So make sure you don't do things you don't want to do. And so when Fear Factor came along, I initially took it because I thought I was going to cancel immediately. I was in a development deal with NBC, and they sent me this thing, and I was like, what the fuck is this? They're gonna stick dogs on people. Like, I was laughing. I'm pretty sure I was stoned when I first got the pitch. Yeah. And I go, this is hilarious. And I don't know if my manager even wanted me to do it. I don't remember. I think they probably wanted me to hold out for a sitcom. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? This is hilarious. Let me meet with them. And they didn't like me at first because I came in and was making fun of it. And they thought it should be scary because this was Fear Factor. Right. And I was just joking. Like, I came into the meeting, I came into the meeting and I was just cracking jokes about everything and laughing. And they didn't, but then David Hurwitz, who's a friend of mine, who's one of the producers on the show, he's like, no, look, the whole world's going to be laughing at us.
Yes.
It's way better if the host is laughing.
Yes.
It's way better.
Yes.
Like, let's just try it.
Like the lunacy of what lengths these people go to.
They were going to go with like a sportscaster or something. You know what I mean? Here we are in Fear Factor. Fear is not a factor for you. Bottom of the ninth.
Maggie from Wisconsin is gonna get in the tank.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's just luck. A lot of luck, man. A lot of weird luck. I've had a lot of weird luck my whole life. Like even coming here's weird luck. Even opening up the club, weird luck.
Why you say that?
Because a lot of things have to happen. In order for this club to exist, right, a lot of things have to happen. First of all, the COVID thing has to happen, right? So, and it has to happen in California, where they have very restrictive laws and everything gets locked down, and we can't perform for like, I think the store was shut for a year and a half.
Are you serious?
Yeah, California was nuts with COVID. But over here, like, almost immediately you can do shows.
Right.
Like, we were the Cap City was doing shows, and they had people separated before they went under. They just had the tables moved like 6 feet apart, which apart didn't mean anything.
Yeah.
And then when we started doing shows at the Vulcan, that was in like November of 2020. So that was pretty soon after, the rest of the world was still like completely, like California and New York were still completely restrictive, minds. And Texas was pretty wide open. And so I have to have the kind of money that Spotify gave me. Yeah. And then I have to be so dumb that I'm in the middle of this giant deal. I'm like, I'm just going to move to Texas. Which they were like, what are you doing? Like, you need to be in LA. That's where your studio is. That's where the guests are. Right. And I was like, I'm flying like at least 2 or 3 people a week out to Los Angeles. I bet I could get them to fly to Texas. Yeah. But it was a dumb gamble. It's like, it's not a smart move. So it has to be like the Spotify money. It has to be everything closed down, and then it has to be the store closed down, because the store closed down allowed me to get guys like Adam Egget and
from the store.
Yeah, all the people that worked at the store came and worked for me. That's like one of the big secrets. Jody, managers, like a lot of the people that are at the mothership came from the store, and they were unemployed.
Yeah, but I wouldn't take it. I like your approach as luck.
No, but it has to be some luck. Otherwise, it doesn't happen. Because if there's no luck, then if there's no COVID lockdown, then all these comics aren't willing to move here.
Correct.
Tony Hinchcliffe, Tom Segura, Christina Pazitsky, Brian Simpson. Everybody moved here.
Right.
So the only reason why anybody could move here is because California's locked down. If the store was hopping, they'd be like,
they wouldn't leave.
Just meet him when he lands.
Yeah, so it had to be like a place where you could go. And then you have to have the resources to do something like that. So that has to be like the Spotify thing. Like, it's like so many things have to fall into place where it's that kind of a gamble makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a lot of luck, man.
It's a lot of luck, but it's also a lot of decision making and a lot of you're very thoughtful, and the walk that you walk creates an energy, and it's very powerful. It's very inspiring, and I do believe in that stuff. Like the way you've walked most of the life that I've known you, it's been you're probably you inspired me so much years and years ago. You came on my radio show and you literally started talking, and you called in, and I remember I just told everyone, just be quiet and let him go. And just, I knew at that moment you were going to be changing like culture, if that makes sense. You went into this deep conversation about we are shifting in humanity, and basically you said we're either going to live for truth, or you're going to be a liar, like leech type thing. It was very powerful, and I think eventually I was like, put Pink Floyd behind it, put that on some on the internet. It is one of the most, because I wanted the world to hear what you said. It was such a, like no other pastor could say, no one could say it the way you said it. So yes, it is all luck, but I do believe that presence that you put out and that energy, it's trusted, and it's a force that opens doors without even knowing it, because it is all for the good and the but anyway, that's my little customer feed.
Well, you inspired me too. Because when we first started working together, one of the worst times I ever bombed was I was headlining the radio show that had a lot of our really good out of that. And you and I did a West Nine more something like that. But I did okay every show except the late show Saturday night. You fucking murdered. I do. You murdered. And I remember being so nervous. I was so nervous. And I went on stage nervous, and I just ate a dick. And I remember it was like one of the worst bombings I've ever had in my life. And I remember thinking at the time, boy, I gotta correct something. First of all, I can never go on stage that nervous again. I was like, what was wrong? What was wrong was, instead of laughing at you and going on stage having a good time, I was nervous about my own performance, which is like a self-defeating mentality.
Yeah,
And I had to realize that. Which is also one of the reasons, like, it really, my stand-up bumped up a lot after that weekend. It really did, because I really worked on it hard, because the bombing was bad. The bombing is bad. But this was a bad one. I was supposed to do 45. I bailed at 35. I got in trouble. I was eating dick. Dude, I was eating dick. It was horrible. But the same thing happened when I would take Joey on the road with me. And the reason why I would take Joey on the road with me is because he was so hard to follow. So I said, okay, I thought of it just like training partner.
yes.
Like, you don't want to spar with a guy who sucks. You want to spar with a guy who's better than you,
Right.
so that you can get to his level.
Yes.
And so with Joey was so loose and so free, and he was so silly. And I was more rigid, and I tried to do more setup, punchline stuff. But I was only, whatever, 8, 9 years in, whatever it was. I was still trying to, like, figure it out. And Joey had a rhythm to him. He's just so loose. And I'm like, this is going to help me. Let me just take this guy on the road with me.
Yeah.
First of all, he's the best guy to hang out with. He's so much fun.
He seems like
I love him to death.
I never got to hang out with him. I only
You
got
never
to
hung
watch
out
it.
with Joey?
No, I've only got to see him here and some other places.
He's the best. He's so, everybody's like, he's so fun. Like, when you're around him, it's all hugs and laughs, and he's the party. You bring Joey anywhere, the party's with Joey. When we'd go to dinner, we'd have as much fun at dinner as we would at the show.
Right. He's the entertainment.
Well, he's just a great social engineer. Like, he would fucking be the maestro that would get everybody going.
Right.
We would be laughing.
Right.
And then we'd go to the show, be have a good time. And I learned to laugh at him, because he'd be murdering.
Right.
And I'd learn to take that momentum of laughing at him and carry it into the energy of my performance.
Yes.
So it was a good thing, because a lot of people want the opposite. They want the guy going on before them to suck, so that
Yeah, I
they
don't
look
want
like
that.
a hero.
Yeah, no, I don't want that.
There's a lot of people out there rocking that fucking scheme.
I like what you said. I like a guy hitting hard.
Yeah.
And then the nights, like, even I have Brian McKenna opening for me right now, and there's nights like I think we're in Louisiana, and I was like, oh shoot, I gotta get up. Like, what is he doing? They're like, and that makes me go, oh, all right, I gotta stay crystal clear. Like, I've got to bring it to this whole level. He's making me. I love someone makes me work. loves.
Well, it's not just that. It's also that the crowd gets their money's worth.
Yes.
A bunch of people came out to see you. Like, I've gone to see friends that are really good comics that I really love, and then I go to see them, and they have an opening act. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I gotta go to the bathroom. I gotta go sit outside for 20 minutes and wait for this to stop.
end. That's a bad place to be, whether it's your buddy or not.
They do it because they want a light opener. Like, Ron White's open about it. Like, he talks about, you didn't do better than me, you're getting fired. He doesn't give a fuck, but I love Ron. Yeah. But
He's still out here, no?
But yeah, he's out here. He's at the club all the time. He's there tonight. Okay. Yeah, tomorrow night rather. Ron's the best. He's the best. Okay. He's another reason why I came here, because he was already here. Ron moved here before the pandemic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he moved here in, I think, 2018 or 19, somewhere around then. And I was like, he had a place in Beverly Hills that he kept still, so he'd come back and forth. But he was like, I love Austin and never have to leave. If I want to fly anywhere, it's the middle of the country. The people are nice. The food's great. And I was like, can I live there? No. That's what my thought was like. I can't live there.
Ron is the type of guy, too, that he doesn't realize how good he is and how popular he is sometimes. He literally, don't ask me why he called me. I have no, I remember it was some bizarre connection. He's like, hey, Jim, I keep getting asked to play in London. And I went, oh, you will murder.
You doing
murder in London. He's like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm like, Ron, if you were to play Scotland, England, Ireland, like you're gonna have a whole new, you're gonna murder. He's like, I don't know if they were. Please, I'm begging you, at least just take the gig. Please just take the gig. And this was a couple of years ago, and apparently he did do it. I was like, did you? He's like, man, murder. Of course you did. Yeah. Especially his style. He's funny. He's very humble.
Ron is
very humble
guy.
Yeah.
He's he's a great guy. He's the best.
Well, that's why I like to come in here the first time, because what I like about here is I reached a point where I have my following. I have my crowd. And if I'm working out stuff, even if it's in an hour, they're going to be patient with me because they like me and they've been on my journey.
Right.
But if I were to go into a club and do 15 minutes, I better, they're not a lot of them don't know me. And I remember the first time I came here, I didn't want to go on stage. So I used to go on stage, like, I don't know. I'm like, all right, go on stage. Wow. It was like, okay, yeah, I'm not, wow, 7 more minutes. Okay, I didn't finish my setup yet. This place made me want to start working harder again and go, hey man, you gotta put the gloves on. Not that I had any lack of confidence of what I put out there for an hour, but those short little 15-minute, when they see everybody, it doesn't matter, it's an even playing field. It's pretty awesome.
Well, it was great. That was great about the store too. Like, you get a night where you have like 7 national headliners. You know,
I saw that one, and they don't care after a while. It's pretty funny. I saw someone from a huge sitcom go on stage, place loses their mind. Even I was a little like, oh wow, and they did the shtick of their character, and about 5 minutes in, they were like, okay, we're done. You gonna tell jokes, or you're just gonna be the TV guy? This is like they've seen everything. You gotta come with the goods. You gotta work it.
TV guy thing. We used to see that all the time in LA too. Yeah. Well, that's what led to Kramer. That meltdown.
Well, that's who it was.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say. But he first walked up. I was like, oh, dude.
I know.
And he grabbed the mic. And then after about 5-7 minutes, and this one was at the Improv, and I'm watching. I'm like, oh wow, he don't have material. He's just wow.
Which is crazy.
They turned on it quick.
Imagine thinking that you could do 15 minutes with no material. I just don't understand.
Comics make it look easy. You know how many people go? How many people have you met that go? You know what? You inspired. I'm gonna start doing stand up. Okay.
Some of them are.
you're like, okay, I still get, I'm starting next. Here's my first, and they'll send me a set of their first set. Like, comedians make it look like we just walk up and just wing it.
Well, it's also guys used to performing in front of a live audience when he does a sitcom and everybody loves him.
Yeah.
And if he can make people laugh for a minute, he thinks he could probably make people laugh for multiple minutes.
Right.
Just keep it going. Just do the same thing for 15 minutes.
And the little side of us are just back then. I root for everyone, but those guys walk off and like, yeah, there's nothing wrong.
Well, we don't like anybody that's half-stepping, right?
I'm guessing you don't want a back rub.
Not
How
really
can I help?
doing it.
Right.
Just taking
Can't handle the heat,
15
my
minutes
friend?
from someone that could be
Okay,
doing it.
leave it with creepy Uncle Lester.
Do you know Neil Brett? Not Neil. Kevin?
No, I don't know Kevin very well. I've met him, I'm sure. I remember him doing sets in New York back in the day.
Kevin would get so pissed because he's a famous guitar player. Oh my God.
John
Not
Mayer?
just- Yes. So Kevin would come in. He'd come into the video and be like, he's going up. He's doing fucking 20 minutes. And he sucks. What? I can't go to Madison Square Garden and go, give me the guitar for 20 minutes. It's my fucking time. His comics would get really edgy. They didn't care who you were. They'd go in. I'd love to listen. You know, he would rant and I would howl. Listen to rant. Of course, I'd get tired once in a while and start going. Fucking crazy. Fucking John Mayer. All right, I get it. You play. Fucking get off the stage. Oh my God.
Yeah, comics are very territorial about the art form.
Extreme.
You know, like when someone tries to do it that's not a comic, they automatically kind of reject them. I'm always like, give him a chance. Never know. Never fucking know. Never know. Never know a guy who's been acting but really always wanted to do stand-up might have some good ideas and might really throw themselves into it. It's possible. Why would you assume it's impossible? It's possible.
It is possible.
But the reality in LA is a lot of them were doing it because the whole casting thing had dried up for them, right? So they weren't getting brought into shows anymore, so they decided to do stand-up. And they would just, you know, put together an act, like write an act. Yeah, but it wasn't what they really loved. So it wasn't what they really threw.
Paycheck.
Yeah.
It's a little paycheck to get them by.
It was a career decision. It was like pivoting, you know?
Yeah. I know a couple guys like that.
Yeah.
Sitcom
Yeah.
or a sketch show, or even like an SNL character. Didn't do stand-up, and now they tour and try to do whatever.
So here's an interesting thing I should tell you because you know this person.
Okay.
I actually made up with Mark Maron the other day. We actually had, I had to help him with something. I had to inform him about something, and he sent me a very sincere message of thank you, and then I sent him a message back that was sincere and said, look, I'm not your enemy. I'm sure if we saw, despite our differences, I'm sure if we saw each other, within a few minutes we'd be laughing, which is generally how I interact, for the most part. I had only a few bad interactions with him. And he was pretty honest about how, you know, maybe it's his own mind, and, you know, it was a very sincere interaction, which made me happy. It's not good to have enemies.
No, it's really not.
It's not good.
I've had maybe 2 or 3 that have vocally put out on, because I'm not into the Twitter insulting or going on other programs insulting. If you have an issue, tell me.
Right.
And then we'll deal with it the way
Call me up.
the real humans do it.
Yeah.
And when that whole thing, I have a funny feeling. I know what some of his issues were, but I felt, and I put it out there, I felt bad because for years I didn't have great interaction. When I started, listen, I'm not poo-pooing or whatever, but yeah, a lot of guys didn't like me. They were like, who's this animated, loudmouth kid coming in here, confident, blah, blah, blah. And he would always kind of like, I'll never forget it. You're going to woo him? You're going to woo him tonight?
He was trying to sabotage you. It was a competition thing.
Without doubt. And I understood that because I'm still back then.
You made a whole video about it.
Correct.
Yeah,
right. And so as we went on, I actually was so happy for him once he got WTF, because you saw like, wow,
He became a different person.
and he found his niche.
And he became friendly.
Correct.
He was easy to be around.
Yeah.
His podcast was killing it, and then he had his show on the IFC.
Yes,
He was doing
yes.
great. He was way easier to hang around with.
He was incredible.
Because all the angst had been removed, and he'd become a made man, right?
made man.
Yeah,
and
he
when you're
become
made
legit.
man, who cares who else is becoming
Exactly,
made man? Who cares?
exactly. But then when things go south, then it's hard to maintain that same mindset. It's very easy for me to say, oh, just relax, and who cares? Everybody should be happy that all these people are doing well. But if you're not doing well, that jealousy is a natural thing. I've experienced it before. I've experienced it. I know the feeling. I've experienced it for brief moments before. You know, even like, 8-9 years ago, maybe. It's like there's moments where someone's really killing it. You're like, oh, what the fuck? But then I realized in my head, like, God, that's a bitch-ass way of thinking. Don't hold on to that.
No, we're on our own journey. This is our world.
But also, that same feeling can instead be inspiration. Like when you and I worked together and I bombed, one of the things that inspired me was not just I gotta get better because I bombed, but you murdered. You had that bit about coming home drunk,
Coming home wasted.
and your mother was
Turned into a demon.
Yeah, it's a great demon, but it was so like animated and big, and it didn't make me hate you. I loved you.
Right.
We were great friends. I was like, that is so good. And it just made me want to get better. So that same feeling that can turn you like, oh, you're gonna do woo-woo,
Yeah.
do your bullshit. Instead, I was like, fuck, Jim, you're killing it, man. That's awesome.
Yes.
I come from a different world, and my world requires other people around you to be as good or better than you. The martial arts world. Like when I was a 4-time state champion and I was going, I wasn't necessarily the best guy in the gym. There was guys in the gym who were better than me.
Yeah.
Always. There was other guys that were also state champions. Some of them were national champions. They were better than me. But because I was around those people training hard all the time, that's why I got so good. It was because I was around people as good, if not better than me all the time, that it elevated my level. So I felt the same way about stand-up. I'm like, you need those people that make you feel uncomfortable. They make you feel like, fuck, I gotta go to work.
Yes, and whether it's him or whoever, it doesn't even have to be the comedy world. It's just the world in general. It's not that sad. I wish sometimes people in those positions, no matter how successful you are and whatever you define success, if someone else is starting to kill it somewhere, let them. Keep your eyes off that. Just stay in your own lane. I hate that term though. Stay in your, I've heard that. It's
In
not
the
stay
intelligence
your lane.
community,
Stay in your world of confidence. And I saw a couple people try to take a swat, and I think it was deeper than that. I think it was A, they were envious, and B, because you had certain people on, and perhaps they were angry because they're still lumped into how they define themselves to certain gangs that their allegiance goes to.
Yeah, ideological.
100%. How dare he have...
Don't platform that person.
Don't platform this one, and don't platform that one, and don't platform... And matter of fact, I would even hear chatter like this. I would never... And I'd go, yes, you would. Because...
Well, if you wouldn't, then you would never be me in the first place, so what are you worried about? We're different human beings.
Correct.
The point is, I understand those feelings. I do. I understand those feelings of anger, and those feelings of jealousy, of resentment. It is absolutely normal, but it is a bitch-ass way to think. And I've thought those ways. I've had bitch-ass thinking in my life. 100%. So I get it. I understand it. It's normal. But what these people need to hear, that I need to learn myself, is that not only does not help you, it hurts you, but the same exact experience can instead be inspiring to you, and that will help you. And you're going to be uncomfortable with comparing yourself to someone who's better than you. But that uncomfortable feeling is what leads to growth. It's really important. It's good. It's good for you. But what's not good for you is to try to dismiss that person and shit on that person. Like, even if someone's doing something that I don't like their style, So what? I don't care. There's a lot of music. Like, I have teenage girls.
Oh,
when
boy.
they listen to music, they love it. I don't like it. But it doesn't mean it's not good. They fucking love it.
They love it.
There's a lot of guys that are into jazz. I don't like it. But it doesn't mean it's bad.
No.
It's great for some people.
It's their art.
It's like everybody has a thing that you're into and everybody has a different style. So if someone's doing something that you don't enjoy, you don't have to hate them. It doesn't mean that's not beneficial to you. It doesn't help you.
Could sum what up what you said, but you can have your bitch ass feelings. You just don't have your bitch ass emotions and act on. Don't act bitch ass. Just don't act bitch ass. That's when you start having issues. When you put it out in the universe, because it's still inside you, which we all have it.
Yes.
It's when you put it out there. Now it's out there. Now everyone looks at you a whole different. I've done that multiple times. I'm never proud of it. I always feel horrible.
Exactly.
Never toward, always within family or friends or something. Never. I try not to
Put it out in the world.
In the world with names of people because
It doesn't feel.
It feels
You get the
so
ball.
proud
of yourself.
Sending
no,
you the drop
I feel
zone.
like a little punk bitch. Like,
Yes.
I just did that.
I
Oh my
know.
God,
You
I thought I was mature.
You gave in to those bitch ass feelings. It's
Thought I was
normal.
mature.
It's normal. Like I remember someone was telling me that Chris Rock was selling out everywhere after the Will Smith thing. And I swear to God, for like a couple of seconds, I was like, aw, what the? He's selling out instantly, all these arenas? It takes me a couple of days. It's so stupid, so dumb. Like he was the hot ticket because everybody wanted to see him. But it was only for a few seconds. And then I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like, who you fucking silly bitch.
Yeah.
Such a dumb way to think. But the problem is, you don't, in the time, and then the other thing is, they think that they're going to diminish that by attacking you. But
That's
what they don't understand is when you do that publicly, the heat comes for you. Because now you set the game in motion. Now you start moving pieces around the board, and then people are starting to move pieces against you. And that's I felt that even at a time where I felt it was necessary, the whole Carlos Mencia thing. I said that to my friends afterwards. I said, I don't think I'll ever do anything like that again. Because just the negative, even if it was only 10% of the people that were negative, 90% were positive, that 10% is just not a good feeling. It's a terrible feeling. It's not good. Even though I thought that was a necessary thing to do. Because not just him, but I wanted to expose the way the business was treating that, where they were profiting off of it and openly covering it, and they knew about it, and they thought it was just business. That was what my agent said to me. It's just business.
I remember a phone call we had somewhat after that, and I remember you telling me your agency dropped you. They dropped you. I'm not crazy for thinking that, right?
No, they dropped me, but what they said was that I had to apologize to him, or they couldn't work with me anymore.
Correct.
And I said, listen, then if just you bringing that up, our relationship is over.
Done.
I said, just because you wanted to, and they said it's just business. I go, you are making a decision that will affect you for the rest of your life. I go, because you're siding with a vampire.
Right.
You sell art. That's all you sell. All you guys are is a comedy agency, right? You sell art. You've got a guy stealing art from other artists. Like, this is bad for you. Everyone's gonna know. So Louis left them after that. Louis came up to me at the Improv, asked me if that was true. I said, yes. He goes, okay, I'm leaving them. Attell, Nick Swartzen, a bunch of people did. So it wasn't like I was right. But it was also, the negative feeling of the people angry at me for it was like so gross. It's like you put that out there in the world as a giant distraction. It takes away from most of your life. You think about it all the time. It's just not good.
At that time, I understand that, but also, like for instance, that was already out there.
With him?
Yeah, and
With comics it was.
It was out there with comics, and it was out there with him. I personally didn't see particular, but like I worked with him maybe once or twice, and I'm not an LA guy. So everyone and their mother, I mean, there was a lot of people that would say that. So when the point of that happening, it was such justice in the community and beyond that, in the world. Like, can we stop?
Success?
Can we stop?
Just get them back in one piece and we're done here.
If you're taking from, which I've already dealt with at that point on some other levels. It happened multiple times when people take and then they...
Well, you dealt with it on SNL.
Yeah, yes, SNL and other areas and which whatever, it's all in the past and I'm all good now. So when you deal with that and you're very... I just dealt with it with buying tickets is another whole thing. So with that said, it's very freeing when you finally put it out there, and not that you want to see someone's career plummet or take a hit or whatever, but it was very refreshing to see that people or fans went, oh, we didn't know this, because a lot of the time fans don't care.
How could they know?
They wouldn't know, but they don't. And you go, you're still going to show up? And then all of a sudden it went to a whole different direction. You saw like this person struggling here. And then it was, it's that time we're living in. You set an example for, if we're all going to start moving forward, can we just be blatantly honest? Whether we're making art or...
You're through to your garage.
Food, whatever you're doing in your lifetime.
I got stuff to do.
Stop stealing. And if you're going to give the credit of where you're getting it from.
Well, but you can't do that in stand-up.
No, you can't do it in stand-up. You have to ask and you say, can I buy that bit or something like that. But it's just such a...
nobody wants to sell their bits. Like,
no.
You can't even do that. Well, you could hire people to write for you, which is very respectable. I know, like, high-level comics who hire people to help them punch up jokes. Nothing wrong with that.
No, and I never knew that either. I never knew that until... I remember being in New York, and the guy was like, hey, I write with Chris. I'm like, Chris Wright. I'm like, oh, wow. Yeah, punch up, stuff like that. And then I see certain guys, which makes sense, because if you're going to hit a certain level, I mean, you gotta stay. Well, I'm not saying they're not. But
people would always say that Chris had writers, but that's not totally true. So what Chris would do was he would come up with all the material, would come up with all the bits, and then he would have guys watch his set. Professional guys. And these professional guys would watch his set and then they would talk about it. They would have feedback on bits. Like he really worked with Richard Jenny a lot.
He was great.
Oh my God,
he taught me the most. I learned so much from Jenny because he would just take a premise and he'd go and every time you thought he was done milking this premise, he'd show up again 15 minutes later like, oh my God, we're going another direction with this premise?
So good.
You gotta be kidding me.
He was so thorough.
Oh my God.
He would take all, I mean, it was so impressive.
Wow, so Jenny's helping.
Yes. Jenny helped Rock with Bigger and Blacker. He helped him with, what was the other one that was really Bring the Pain?
Yes, the two classic.
Two of, like, if you have a top 20 all-time comedy specials, they're both in there. Monster sets.
He's the first guy I saw. Chris was the very first person I saw. I won a lottery to do open mic at the comic strip. And I'm going to say I was 19, maybe 19, 20. I didn't know what that was. And I show up at the comic strip and I see Eddie Murphy. I'm like, oh my God, this is where... Because I had that Eddie Murphy album where he had like little flowers from the comic strip. And he had a little... Yeah.
He did that at the comic strip?
Yeah. He did. Really? Yes, he was at the comic strip. And he did live from the comic strip. It was
a great special.
Great special. Great album.
I bought it on cassette. That's how old it is.
I bought it as an album.
Oh, how did he stop doing stand-up? There it is.
Oh my God.
How did he stop doing stand-up? He was 1982. He was so good.
Yeah, so I was
a sophomore in high school.
Me too. Were you 58?
Yeah.
Yeah, we graduated at the same time. Look at the comic strip.
He was so good. When you see him, did you see him do that? He got one of those Mark Twain Awards, I believe it was.
Yes.
And he went and did a set.
Yes.
Did an impression of Bill Cosby getting his awards taken away from him.
No.
Yes, it's great.
I gotta watch that.
It's really, when Jamie will pull it up, you go, oh my God, please do stand up again. Please do stand up again.
Do you remember the bit he did? He goes, I guess it was in, what was the one with the red leather pants?
Raw.
No. It's
Delirious?
Delirious.
Delirious.
And he
Yeah,
goes,
you're right.
He goes, man. Bill Cosby called me and he said, the filth and the foul and the foul and the filth and the fit. And he goes, call Richard Pryor. And Richard Pryor said, next time that motherfucker call you and tell him to suck my dick and have a nice pudding on me.
No, he said, did the people laugh?
Yes.
Did you get paid?
Yes.
But tell Bill to have a Coke and smile and shut the fuck up.
That's what he said.
Thank you so much. This is a tremendous honor. Wonderful evening. I'd like to thank you so much, first of all, for celebrating me and honoring me in such a wonderful way. Bringing my loved ones and my family here. This is a super special, memorable night. And thank you to all the comedians and that came out and sang. And Sam Moore came out and sang, and Alabama Shakes was here. We had a really, really, really special night. Hasn't been lost on me that, usually when people have evenings like this, a person's really, really old when they get these awards. They'll let you wait. Really, like, one of the greatest, funniest people of all time is George Carlin. He received this award posthumously. And he's funnier than all of us. So to be standing here alive, looking like myself still, is they'll let you get really old and do this, And there was also some confusion about whether or not it was an award or a prize. And actually, it's an award. Even though they call it prize, it's an award, because usually when there's a prize, there's money involved. But I thought I was going to get some paper. I was like, yo, Mark Twain Award at Kennedy Center, that sounded like paper. Then they told me yesterday that they raised $2.3 million. I was like, yo, I'm in there. Then I came down and they told me that there is no, it's a prize, but there is no money. And I was like, oh. So I think to clear up that confusion for future recipients, maybe you don't want to call it the Mark Twain Prize.
You calling for some wheels?
If you don't want to call
Johnny
it the
on the
award,
spot. I'll hook you up.
Maybe you could call it the Mark Twain Surprise.
Surprise.
And the surprise,
I'll bring it
of course,
by.
being
I'll get back to it then.
But that still doesn't diminish how wonderful this is. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing to be included with some of my heroes, Richard Pryor and George Carlin and Carl Reiner and Lily Tomlin. Who else got this? Bill has one of these. Did y'all make Bill give his back? I know there was a big outcry from people. They was trying to get Bill to give his trophies back. You know you f***ed up when they want you to give your trophies back. Trophy back to him? He should do one show where he just come out and just talk crazy now. I would like to talk to some of the people who feel that I should give back my trophies.
Obviously, they bleeped that out. Wow.
Just because you may have heard recently that I allegedly put the pill into people's chocolate. I wish somebody would come up to my house talking about give up the trophy because you put the pill into people's chocolate. You get no. Because I'm not giving back. and who is Hannibal Barris?
Well, this is 11 years ago.
Yeah, I was going to say, was that Dick Gregory said?
Yeah, that's Dick Gregory.
It was, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
you know,
but it's he's like stand-up. Like, he's doing stand-up.
He is
accepting the war. He's killing, and he hasn't done stand-up in fucking decades.
I think it's the Billy Joel thing where he was such a hit and so, I mean, his stand-up specials were monsters. It's to want to be compared to that is such a, like you and I, our community's like, my kids have no clue Eddie Murphy was stand-up. They have no clue. They just know him as Donkey.
That's crazy.
He's Donkey in Shrek.
Right.
Hey, Shrek.
His Big Mama.
Yes.
Yeah.
They don't even know that. They just
that's
know,
not him.
They just know Donkey.
No, who's the other one? Where he got fat. The clumps.
He's
Yeah, Nutty Professor. And then there was other one where he played like a bunch of different people. That's the clumps. Yeah.
He's the one where I committed to doing stand-up. My parents moved to Florida. This is like 87, something like that. So I'm taking theater. I'm doing stand-up in Long Island, like Levittown, the Governors. And I was shocked no one discovered me. I was so cocky. So cocky. It's like, how do you not know I've arrived to New York? Soon I will be discovered. And then my parents moved to Florida. And while I'm down there, I'm really struggling. I think I was almost 21 years old. I said, I'll just go into restaurant management. Took that nonsense class. And then Eddie Murphy, and the only reason I was doing it was for my mother. Because my mom's like, you gotta fall back on something, and you need a pension, and you know, what do you got? A pension and make money, and God forbid something happens, Jimmy, you gotta do something. And so while I'll never forget this. This is like I want to say it's
Merriweather,
late 88,
because security.
maybe early 89. And
Target
Arsenio
confirmed.
Hall was like the biggest talk show thing ever. Yeah, where's my dogs?
Yeah.
It was huge.
Things that make you go,
Yeah, things make it.
Remember that?
Yes.
Things that make you go,
Yes, things that make you. And so he had Eddie Murphy on. Of course, I saw Eddie Murphy live at Westbury Music Fair when he was like 18 years old. So I'm watching Eddie Murphy. I wish I could find this interview one day. And Arsenio's like, you gotta be saying comics out there. And this is not exactly what he said, but I remember he turned to the camera and he went, don't listen to your mother. Your mother wants you to do this, you do that, you're going to 100%. Why are you going to fall back to something you already. If you're going to make a pizza, you're going to make a pizza 100%. But the point of them was like, don't listen to your mother. You're going to go for it. You know what you want inside. You go for it. Stop listening to these outside sources that really, they're not in your brain. They're not in your journey. They're not in your vision. I've told a couple nephews and a good friend about this. Who said, Junior, I really want to go in there. I said, do it. Your mom's going to get pissed, but she's not. This is your journey, kid. Go for it. But that moment, Eddie Murphy is the reason why I went home that day, and I went, I got to tell you something. And my dad's World War II vet, everyone's a cop in the family. My dad's still like, and I was still signing up by playing the bomb. What the heck?
Officer Jim.
Yeah, I do. I was really like, Dad.
The windows roll down, smoke comes out of the car. Give me that joint. Get the fuck out of here.
You know why I pulls you over? No, okay. No, get out of here and don't be an asshole. Just get home safe and follow me. And not only that, I told my dad, if I ever had to chase someone, I'm not giving you a ticket. I am gonna beat the shit out of you. If I'm running a camp and killing me, and I'm going through red lights, when I get you, I'm taking you behind a dumpster. It's not gonna end well for you. I'm not made for that. And so I said, hey, I want to let you know right now, I am gonna be a stand-up comedian. I am gonna go into TV. I'm gonna pursue film, and this is what I'm doing. And I'll never forget, it was my dad. It was my dad who turned to me, never shook my hand in my life. Anyway, you're a man now, and he goes, you go do that, because I never had that opportunity, and I want you to have more than me. And my mom was like, Jesus Christ almighty, be careful, be careful, be careful, Jesus Christ. Later that night, she's having martinis. You know what?
Around a circle.
And I'm always my husband. Okay.
Oh, that's so
But that was
funny.
it. That was the. It was Eddie Murphy and then my dad's official boom. And I was off
That's
to the
funny.
races. Yeah.
By the time I started doing stand-up, my parents had long given up on trying to control me. They're like, okay,
Yeah.
good luck.
Well, yeah, you're in your young 20s now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was also like, they were uncomfortable about me fighting, and I was like, I'm gonna go do this. I'm doing this.
Yeah, you know what you're doing.
Well, it's like, even when I didn't know what I was doing, I was gonna do it.
Yeah, you're doing it.
But it's like, that leap is very hard when your parents are telling you no. It's very hard. When they're giving you a hard time and they're putting pressure on you to have a legitimate career, they just don't get it. You know, they just don't get it. But it's like,
But that's
someone can do it. It is a
What's
job.
up? What's up?
So this thing is like, oh, what if you never make it? Like, I remember I was dating this girl when I was 21, and her dad said that to her. Like, her dad was very concerned about me. He said, what if he doesn't make it? And she said it to me, you know, my dad said, he said, what if you don't make it? I go, okay. I don't know what to say. Maybe I won't, but I'm going to try. I'm not going to stop doing it because I might not make it. That's retarded. I go, someone can do it. Like, I work with professional comedians all the time. They make a living doing stand-up comedy.
Right.
I know it exists.
Right.
It's not like it's not like I'm inventing a new profession that didn't exist before.
Correct.
Like, this is a profession.
Yeah.
Why is
It's
it
not
aiming
easy
at
to
this
do,
dude?
but I think I can do it, and I think I want to try because I can't have a regular job. I'm too ADD. I can't sit in a.
Me either.
And when I say regular job, people think,
I know what you mean.
oh, you're demeaning our jobs.
No, you're not.
That's not what I mean. I mean a job you don't want to do. Like, if you have an office job, but that's what you love doing, if you're doing something that you enjoy doing, there's nothing wrong with that. But a lot of people, that's not what they're doing. A lot of people are just doing a job, and that beats you down. It beats you down, and it dulls you. It dulls you. It dulls the conversations that you have. It dulls the conversations you have off work. You don't get stimulated. You're at a drone frequency, unfortunately. And I didn't want to do that, man. I had a bunch of jobs, like jobs just for money, and they don't feel good. I didn't enjoy it. And I didn't have a thing.
What you need, boss?
if there
Some
was a
wheels?
thing, like, I want to be a
Aye,
carpenter. I
I'll
want to
get
build
back to
houses.
work.
I didn't have that thing. It just
I didn't
wasn't-
have that either.
But I know people who do, and they're very happy. They
Yes.
love it. The architects, engineers. There's a lot of people who love what they do. Those were not interesting to me. And so I was trying, and then stand-up was the only thing. I'm like, oh my God, these people are outcasts just like me.
Yeah.
They're weirdos just like me.
Yeah.
They're the people that just don't fit in. They're the people that say the things they're not supposed to say. That was me. I was like, I got to figure out how to do this.
Yeah.
And I knew it was, I never thought, Fitzsimmons and I talk about this all the time because we started out like literally within a week of each other.
Wow.
We traveled together. We would drive to Rhode Island to do open mics together. We hung out. We did a ton of road gigs in the early days. All our goal was to be able to pay our bills with comedy. That was the goal.
Right.
The only goal.
And it felt great.
That was because we knew guys. There was this guy, DJ Hazard, who's a really funny Boston stand-up. And I went to look at these apartments once. And these loft apartments, they had turned this, like an elementary school, this old brick elementary school, into these loft condos.
Yeah.
And DJ had a place there. And I knew, like, I went to look at this, like, little studio apartment that they had there. And he had this big loft there. I was like, oh my God, imagine this guy's doing this just with comedy. This is crazy.
Right.
Look at this fucking killer apartment this guy has. And he just tells jokes.
Right.
That was the dream.
Yes. And
That was the dream.
I tell my kids too. I tell everyone, just go for your passion.
Whatever it is.
Go for the passion. And, you know, my
And do it while you're young, while you don't have a family, you don't have a mortgage. You know,
Yes. Is this the moment?
I think so. He's talking about starting comedy.
Look at his hair.
Well, look at his hair.
By the way, here's your report card.
I'll be blown away if this is it.
But you always knew that this is where you wanted to be. This is what I knew I wanted to be in show business. And I just happened to luck out and things happen. I think you know if you know what you're supposed to do deep down inside. I think everybody does. A lot of people just don't go after it. You know, and like most people start out, they say, I want to be a this, but I'm going to get that to make sure I have something to fall back on. And what you're doing is you're setting yourself up for failure because you're going, there's a possibility that I'm going to fall back. And when you put that out there, then you fall back. When you just say, hey, this is what I want to do, and you go do it, you usually get your stuff the way you
How can I
want
be
it.
of service?
Yeah.
Okay, going dark. You've got 1 minute.
I don't even know if this is true, because you know how Uncle Ray lies, okay? Uncle Ray.
I loved Uncle Ray.
You know how your uncle lies. Uncle Ray shared what he did, you see him? No, I didn't see him. Uncle Ray told me that a fortune still went down my back. You know what he did? I was like, they don't know Uncle Ray, so they're like, picture me, but a lot older. That's Uncle Ray. He said that. He said, I'm gonna show you one. Funny? Do you have any other guests tonight? Me and you, Uncle Ray?
He's like, this is, I already did my favorite.
Hey, Uncle Ray! Hey, Uncle Ray! Not Uncle Ray! Please, don't involuntarily lie. Uncle Ray! Uncle Ray!
So, dude, he would bring his uncle. His uncle would murder. His uncle would murder. I think on Letterman. Or his uncle would murder. Now he got me wondering.
Maybe there's another interview.
No, I stop. Did I go from that or in my head?
Did you add to it in your head?
Did I add to it in my head?
That does happen.
It does happen. I don't like that.
Oh, it's
I don't
so
like that
weird.
because I'm like, he absolutely said.
It's so weird when you have a memory that you're sure
How old
of,
are you?
and other people are like, no, this happened, that happened, the other thing, and then you're like, wait, shit.
But
You're right.
And I do remember saying the fall back stuff because I used that going into talking to my mom. Like, Mom, can't fall back. I'm going to do 100%.
That is
100%.
that is a fact. That you
With
can't,
anything.
you can't fall back. You can't have a net. You're not going to make it if you have a net.
No, you're spreading yourself thin all
It's
over
just
the place.
too hard. Well, also the amount of focus that it takes, whatever you're trying to do in life, the amount of focus that it takes to do it. This is what I always say to fighters when they have like 1 foot in and 1 foot out. I'm like, quit, because the consequences of you facing a guy that's all in are devastating. That guy wants to be the best ever, and you're not sure if you want to fight anymore. Like you're going to get hurt.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
That happens a lot. You see that a lot. When
Yeah, because sometimes
people-
it's just for the cash. Or they
Well,
need
it's
the
also
cash,
their
I'm not sure.
identity. And there's, they're not sure if this is the right career for them. Maybe they have a couple of losses and they don't feel confident anymore. Like, get out. But with comedy, at least you don't have to worry about getting hurt. Like, really, what it's just
I'm
about
on the
is like,
clock.
okay,
What you
you're
want? Some
presented
wheels?
with more challenges. Figure it out.
Yeah.
Figure it out and
Yeah.
push through. Somebody's done it. Okay, there's people out there that are doing
I'll bring it by.
which is one of the things that we really, when we started the club, one of the things that we implemented at the club that we thought was really important is a legitimate development program. So Adam Egett, who is the talent coordinator for the Comedy Store, is now the talent coordinator for the Mothership, but he takes it very seriously. There's a program.
Right.
There's 2 days of open mic nights. He watches everybody's set.
Right.
He sits down, he takes notes, he gives them feedback, and then when they start progressing, he gives them a little bit more time, and then maybe he'll give them a spot on one of the showcase shows.
Right.
And doing that and allowing people to have a pathway where then they go on the road with some of the other headliners. And
Right.
we have a lot of guys that are headlining on the road that are taking a lot of the people that work at the club, door people that work on the staff, take them on the road with them. And now, so there's a pathway.
I don't give
So
out
not
my
only
age.
do
That's
you
personal
see
information.
that others have done it, so you know, but there's a way. It's like we're helping them. And there's a lot of talented people that they get frustrated, and we all knew guys that were really fucking talented when we were in New York. Remember that kid from Jimmy's Comedy Alley? I brought him up before. Dark hair. He was really funny. Really funny. Remember Jimmy's Comedy Alley in Queens? I know I brought him up on the podcast before.
Vaguely.
This kid was funny, but like
Where's he
really
from?
socially
Where's he from?
conscious. He was in New York.
Was he kind of sporadic and off the wall a little bit?
Yeah, he was a little weird.
Yeah, I know who you're talking
You know
about.
who I'm talking about.
And he, oh my God.
But he was fun.
George? Is it George Gallo?
No, that's another guy who's very funny too.
Okay.
There was another guy, but this guy was different. He was almost like kind of like clearly he was a fan of Bill Hicks. He wasn't stealing from Bill Hicks, but he was clearly inspired by Bill Hicks.
Okay.
I mean, not Bill Hicks style at all, but socially conscious stand-up that was like really funny and good. And I was like, this guy's gonna make it.
Shoot.
And no,
Almost Stanhope-y. Doug,
not as good as
Doug was-
Stanhope.
yeah.
Not as good as Stanhope, but it didn't have. Like
Okay,
by the time
give me a
I
few
met
seconds and they won't be able to see you.
Stanhope brothers, Stanhope had been doing stand-up for probably 12 years. So he was like super legit back then.
I think that's when I remember we were at some Florida event, and I went down there. Totally
You're through to your
fluffing
garage.
my
You,
feathers. I think
need me
I
to
was-
bring you a ride?
I think I might have had a season of
I'll bring it to
SNL,
you.
and I was wearing my peacock feathers out. And Stanhope was the winner of this festival, and they got to play the last night. I think it was like Todd Barry. All I remember is Todd Barry, Doug Stanhope, and me. Now, I was supposed to follow Todd Barry. No offense to Todd. I'll take that any day of the week, because Todd's energy was lower.
Right. He's like a deadpan guy.
Right. And deadpan, no matter murder, I know, I feel comfortable. I'm like, okay, I usually do okay after deadpan, no matter what. I'm ready to go. I'm seasoned. I could do this. They go, we're switching the order. I'm switching the order, because at that time too, I think the manager, maybe it was whoever it was, he knew. He's like, there's no way he's gonna be able to go up after Stanhope. So they switched Barry and Stanhope. So now I don't know who Doug Stanhope is. And Doug Stanhope goes up. I'm gonna say for like the first couple minutes, he's eating it a little bit. And I'm like, why would you do this to this kid? And then all of a sudden he snapped. And all I remember is from that moment on, I went, oh shit. This is gonna be an issue going up after this. And he was murdering, like slaying, and the things he was saying, because at that time too, I'm not a dirty guy. I'm not. I just choose sometimes. I love filthy material, but I just don't always go in that. And he's hitting subjects, like dark subjects, and then sex, and he's.
You calling for some wheels? I'm
Yeah,
Johnny on the spot.
right.
I'll hook
I
you
just
up.
went, yeah, this is not gonna go well. And I remember going up like, I
Okay,
held my
I got stuff to
own,
do.
but I don't know if I pulled off going up after a very young, unproven Stanhope. Even back then, I was like, I gotta keep my eye on this guy, because he's like a monster. And he was this is like 90, maybe mid-90s?
Yeah, I think I met Stanhope in 93, somewhere around then.
What is
No,
it?
no. Well, maybe.
Well,
No,
yeah,
that
no,
is. That is him. He just looks different there.
Whoa! Wait a minute.
He's older.
That's.
Yep, that's him. That's him.
Let's just keep
So is he
that.
still working?
Who's Keith Anthony?
Keith Anthony's the guy that I was telling you about Jimmy's comedy album.
Oh!
He was very funny. He came to the Comedy Store. He drove across the country in a Cadillac that had the roof sawed off of it. And it was a convertible, but not really. So it didn't have a top. And so he got rained on while he was driving across the country. So his entire Cadillac was filled with water while he's driving. I don't know if he drove with a raincoat or if he just ate it. Just ate the water. But yeah, that's Keith Anthony. Yeah,
Wow.
that's him. Thank you, James.
Is he still
How
around?
did you pull that up?
Is he still around? Or?
I don't know. I haven't seen him in forever. I remember we brought him up on the podcast a few years ago. Yeah. And
Who's the guy from the radio? How come I couldn't the radio. He was a radio guy. He was taller. He was married to like an Israeli chick.
John Tobin.
Yes! Yeah! That was one of the greatest, most hilarious adventures of my lifetime. Was Tobin and I. We had a kid, and it was horrifying. It was like, coconuts. We're gonna send you down to Cancun spring break, right?
Oh God.
Oh yeah. And now I'm young. I'm like, oh my, I'm not even married yet.
You were in Cancun?
Yes. And it's spring break. I'm like, oh my God.
What year was this?
Okay, so I'm going to say 1992. 1992. And I think I'm making $500 for 2 weeks. You have to work every single night, right? So wait a minute. So I don't know who the other comedian is, right?
Right.
And so I land at Cancun, and right away, the bells and a whistle and have a tequila shot. I'm like, I'm young. I'm like, this is great. Tobin is probably 10, 15 years older.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I wanted to say he was in his young 40s. I could be wrong. So as we're driving down to Cancun, and we're getting wasted on the bus. Like, who wants another shot? I want another shot. It's the greatest gig ever. So we pass all the spring break hotels, and there's no one left on the bus. There's nobody left on the bus, except for some guy who's like in his 40s, right? And I go walking up the bus drive, I'm like, hey, where's La Travasse? And he's going, down. What? I don't understand what he's saying. And this guy goes, he said it's downtown. I went, oh. I go, what's your name? And he goes, John. I go, I'm a comedian. He's like, yeah, I'm the other fucking comedian, and they have us fucking downtown. They don't have some fucking thing. Like, hey, I said, it's okay.
Are you sure? That doesn't sound like
No, dude. It was John. This is really funny. So they put us downtown, right? Me and Tobin. And me and John have talked to this multiple times. Said, one day we got to write this as the
What you need,
funniest
boss?
adventure
Some wheels?
ever.
I can bring them round.
We had to take, first of all, we check in the hotel, and the guy's like, yeah, I don't know if the other guy's still in there. What other guy?
I'll get back to work.
The three of you in one room. The three of us in a room. What are you talking about? John's losing his shit. He's arguing with he's like, I'm married to an Israeli chick, and all they do is yell at each other. He goes, Bayphone, fucking yell at each other. So now we go to our room, and there's someone in our room. It's like, and he goes, yeah, I haven't been paid yet. Been stuck here for like a month. Like, oh yeah. So I
I'm
slept
on the clock.
floor.
What you want? Some wheels?
No. On my life, on my lap. Ask Tobin this, right? So I'm on the floor. The first night
I'll get there as soon as I can.
And Tobin's like yelling over the other. He's like, if you keep snoring, I'm gonna lose my shit. Right? So by the end of the week, we're not getting paid. All the gigs are getting canceled. All I remember is it ended 6 days later. I had to go get money transferred because now we're partying. We're just up to school. Let's go find weed, tequila. We went on an adventure. This poor bastard got thrown out of a car. We were going to buy tequila, right outside. And the guy got thrown out of the car. We're like, what's going on? And we're all wasted. We go up, and the guy's going in his pockets and taking his money. And we go, hey, what's going on there? And he's like, no, man. They're talking in Spanish again. John knew Spanish a little bit. And so he takes off, and we're taking care of this guy. What's your name? He's like, Juan. And to this day, this is why I know in Spanish my name is Jaime. Because we lifted him up, and he's like, oh, amigo, what's your name? I said, James. Jaime. Yeah, Jaime. Amigo. John. Juan. This night lasted to 6 a.m. in the morning. And it was one of the greatest ventures in our entire lifetime. To this day, I have to get Tobin, because he's got even greater details as the night goes on. It was probably the greatest. It ended that night, or that morning, about 7 a.m., to John with a golf club smashing the drapes, because he's like, I said I'm gonna lose it if you don't stop snoring. He's smashing the thing, and some other thing. The University of Wisconsin was staying there. There was some other mess going on. All I remember is I woke up, I went right to the airport, I booked a hotel, and I went home, and I haven't seen John since. But I remember you knew him. Yeah, you were his buddy.
Well, John and I
gotta
did
get in
stand up
contact with
at the
everybody.
Joker's Wild in New Haven, Connecticut. That's where I work with them. He was the opening act. I was the headliner, and or he was the middle act, one or the other. And then we became friends, and we started playing pool together. And then he got a job at Executive Billiards in White Plains. He was one of the counter guys at Executive Billiards.
Oh.
So the pool hall where I became obsessed with playing pool, John and I would hang out in that pool hall all the time because John worked there.
Ah,
Yeah.
That's, yes, because he would bring you up a lot. He's like, you know, Joe Rogan? Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I'm friends with him. But this is way.
Now I think about it, John did have a little bit of an anger issue.
Bro, it was the funniest. And he would be on his wife. He's yelling at his wife. "Ah, don't talk to me. I'm stuck and can't come."
Oh, no.
I got to get all the
Details of the adventure.
There
I
was-
lost touch with that dude. I ran into him a long time ago. I want to say close to 20 years ago. I was doing a gig in Miami. And after the show, we were leaving the back of the theater, and I went to get in the car, and I saw this guy that was standing out in line. He knew that this was the back of the theater I was going to come out. It was John. And I didn't recognize him for like a half a second because there was like spotlight behind him.
Yeah.
You know, he was a little silhouetted
Yeah.
with the street light behind him. And then I was like, oh shit, what are you doing? And I know we exchanged numbers, but you know, I changed my fucking number every 2 years at least. I lost touch with him a long time ago, and I lost friends, and I don't know. But John and I were always in that pool hall together.
Wow.
Yeah, for a couple of years he worked there at least. He was like the counter guy. Like he would give you the balls and take the money. And our good friend Guy Azariti, rest in peace, he was the owner of the place.
I'm going to hunt him down.
So he'll probably reach out after this.
There was a black guy with us. There was a black guy. And every day we'd leave, and this little hooker would follow me. And she had to be like in her 50s. And she was chubby and a mess. And she'd go, "Ew, you're not doing little boy. And I'm like, no. But the black dude would always go, "Yo, I'll take you." He'd go, no, too big. I swear to God. And what's crazy is that venture we went on, we ended up going to this guy's house, and he made like his wife and stuff cook for us at 3 in the morning, and his whole family's staring at us. And, you know, I'm a jackass. I'm all juiced up. We're like, "We're gonna get you out of Mexico, and we're gonna get you back. We're gonna help you out. We're gonna get you to America. Yeah, we're gonna help you out. We're gonna save you. And I remember the neighborhood too. Like they're as you walk through, a dog just running wild. Wasn't in a nice part of. It was just a part of town. Like, are we safe? And who lives on a street? As we're showing up like 3 in the morning, it was the hooker that stays outside our hotel room. Like, you can't even write this. She's like, "Oh, she no girl. No, Jaime. No." I'm like, "No, trust me. No, I don't want any of that." But she tries to get me every day. Every day she tries to get me.
She tries to get me.
She does.
Bro, you used to be able to go to Mexico and it was no problem. Like, Mexico was a fun place to visit. Did you see what's going on right now in Puerto Vallarta?
No, I heard.
You don't know?
I heard. No,
Oh,
I dude. I
I'm
tapped
Kurt Metzger
out
again.
of.
You don't know?
Yeah, I tapped
You
out
don't know?
of everything.
Oh, listen, it's just started yesterday. There's a gang war, or with the cartel war, that's going on in Puerto Vallarta because they killed the head of one of the cartels.
Oh.
So the military arrested and killed one of the heads of one of the cartels, and Puerto Vallarta right now is a war zone.
Really?
They lit a Costco on fire. There's gunfights in the streets, cars and trucks on fire. Roads are shut down. You can't fly out of there anymore. All the airlines won't fly out. Air Canada pulled their flights. All these places pulled their flights. So there's tourists that went to Puerto Vallarta on vacation that are Americans that are stuck there. U.S. citizens urged to shelter in place after Mexico drug lords killing sparks wave of violence. Yeah, this is going on right now. Like right now.
So is that?
See if you can find some video of it.
That's south, right?
Puerto Vallarta? Yes.
South of like Cancun and all that?
No, it's on the other side of the country.
Oh, it's the West Coast.
Yes.
Okay.
I think, right? Isn't Puerto Vallarta the West Coast?
Like Cabo?
Yes.
On that side?
I think.
I don't know.
I know it's near Punta Mita that has that, there's a beautiful Four Seasons resort there. Yeah, it's on the west side. but there's a gang war, like a literal
Lily gang fight,
cartel.
street fight.
Oh, dude, watch the video. Put the videos, cartel. Just write cartel violence after that. Cartel. It's fucking crazy. Just write cartel.
Fucking help me out, Henry.
Yeah, the footage is fucking banana. Look at this. There's real shit. This ain't real. That's AI.
Right.
Me and the boy. This is real. This I've seen. Go full screen. This is the Costco on fire.
Okay, here
Bro,
we
they're
go.
blowing up buildings. There's gunfights in the streets. They've got armored vehicles. There's shootouts. I was watching this video where these people are like hiding in a building and just fucking gunfights in the middle of the street. It's crazy. Look how much is on fire. Look at these people on the beach. Nothing's going on.
And where they targeting?
I'm jogging. I've got to get my 10,000 steps in.
I just got my earbuds in. And listen to Native Flute music.
There's a couple people just chilling while these buildings on fire in the background. That's hilarious. They're surrounded by cartel warfare. Air Canada's canceled flights out of Puerto Vallarta. Yeah, look at that. Bro, this is so bad for tourism. This is going to cost Mexico billions of dollars.
You know
This
what?
kind of shit. Look at the picture, man. It's like half the city's on fire. That's crazy.
Interesting. What does that tweet say?
Go back to it.
Fucking God. And now you too can go. You ever see those what was that? What are those things?
That one right there. Chaotic scenes in Puerto Vallarta after CJNG, Jalisco, New Generation Cartel, Sicario started to block main roads and set civilian vehicles on fire in multiple regions of Mexico, including Guadalajara, how do you say that? Mahacan? And Jalisco, in retaliation to the show more?
The alleged
Killing of their leader, El Mencho. Meanwhile, reports are emerging stating that the cartel mechanized units with improvised monster armored vehicles are amassing in Jalisco and other parts of the country.
That works.
So
I can see the
there's
plates
some
now.
shit,
Give
like
me the
some
last one.
serious shit that's going down.
Interesting.
Scary.
Yeah.
Scary. Get stuck in the middle of that. This is the
Well, getting stuck there would be a little bit of a bummer.
well, no, I'm stuck in the middle of it because that's where a lot of people die in the crossfire. Because you get hit with strays because they're not like precision shooting. They're gunning people down. They're shooting at cars and.
Yeah.
That's Mexico now. The point is, like, when you went there in '92, you used to be able to go there. It was easy. It was like nobody worried at all about going to Mexico. Going to Mexico was fun. You didn't even have to have a passport back in the day. You used to be able to go over there with your driver's license.
That is true. Sometimes, I mean, they've always scared you with the cartel thing. Not saying it
Back
doesn't
then?
exist.
No.
Once in a while, up until like 5 years ago, 7 years. Put it this way, my wife and I went to a place called Maroma, but on the East Coast. And even before we went, friends were like,
I know what that is. That's near Cancun, right? That's near
Yes.
Chichen Itza.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was beautiful, a little
Beautiful.
tiny resort.
I went to
there
that place.
for like a 20-something anniversary.
Mhm.
And it was, and even then I would see people walking down the street with machine guns.
Was it
They were the cops or the army or whatever. I was like, whoa. And they would tell you, and they would be like, listen, if you see something washed up on shore, don't touch it. Don't touch it. Really? Like, yeah. Don't let the government come and get it.
Don't steal the coke.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll have another margarita. That's cool. When's dinner again?
Yeah.
But you always kind of heard.
Well, it was nothing scary though. Not
like this.
now. It used to be like a normal place to go to tour. I like that place I told you about, Punta Mita. I've been there. I went once with my family when my kids were really young, and they have golf carts rather, on the resort.
Yeah.
And you can drive around your golf court. You stay in like this little villa, and you get a little golf cart that you can borrow. And then we asked the people, can we take the golf cart into the town? And they said sure. So we leave the resort, and then you go into the town, and it's just like immediate abject poverty and this militarized police station where these guys were on an armored car with this like big armored plate and a fucking machine gun, and the guy's sitting there just like he's ready to go. And then I had to put together like, oh, they're there to protect the resort.
Correct. Correct.
So then it starts put like the illusion of the Four Seasons dissolves. Because the illusion is this immaculately manicured lawns, beautiful landscape, gorgeous buildings. Everyone's well attired and so polite and serving you. I'm like, this is surrounded by realness.
That was like the first time I went to Turks and Caicos. The kids were young, and we went to whatever resort. It's all included. Maybe it was the beaches. I don't remember. And we had to, but the minute you went right outside of beaches, like, whoa, they're like barely. They don't have nothing going on there, and it's all you can eat right there. And I remember being younger. In my head, I don't know if it was the weed or whatever, but I'd sit there and go, oh, so basically, whatever, like corporations will show up and like, how much for these beaches? They're like, oh, it's not for sale. How much? Because we want this. No, we've been living here forever. We live off the, yeah. Well, drugs and, crazy gangs don't show up, then you need us to protect you, and then, if then you let us know, then maybe we can make a deal. Or they make the deal with one of the leaders. Dude,
people have always been vacationing in Mexico.
Yes, but it always blows me away. Like, people would get mad, whether it's Hawaii or whatever. All the nicest beaches in the world are basically, even in bad areas, they're surrounded by like billionaire, like gorgeous resort. It's just like coming off a cruise boat. You're treated like a king and a queen, and then you show up at certain ports, and they're like all begging, like, these beggars. But if you think about it, it's like someone coming here, and they're coming into a bad section, and they're worth billions of dollars, and they're coming off, and they're kind of looking at you funny. That always fascinated me, like, how do they get into these areas and they make sure you stay there?
Well, usually those areas are fucked for a reason, right? And Mexico's fucked for a reason because of the drugs. That's a big part of it. And the other thing is what happened in the 80s with that movie Roger and Me, whatever year that was, that detailed that, where they just shipped all the factories over to Mexico. And that became, like, it killed Detroit. And a lot of things started getting manufactured and built in Mexico. And, they took advantage of the fact that they can get cheaper wages over there. And they didn't have to insure anybody. They didn't have to give no benefits. You spend way less money, and you can make people work way longer. There's no rules.
It's the beginning of all of it.
A lot of dirty corporations did that.
What you need, boss? Some wheels? I can bring them around.
And continue.
Yeah.
And continue to do that.
Yeah, well, when you find out that the rest of the world, like the whole world, when you look at, people love to use that term, the 1%ers.
I'll
you know
get
what the
back
1% for the whole world is? Top 1%? $34,000. $34,000 a year puts you in the 1% of the world.
What?
Yes. That's how distorted our version of, like, wealth and middle class and prosperity. Like, this is the beauty of, like, a functioning capitalism United States, is that you do so well that you start talking about inequality. You don't realize that even the inequality that you have in America is the dream of someone who lives in a third world country.
I love going to Tanzania, Kenya. Last year I was 6 weeks in Africa. I love going in the middle of nowhere and just seeing literally people with nothing, and they're still happy. Not only are they still happy, they have the whole life system down. They understand everything operates for a reason. Everything operates for a reason. I remember this one guy who was telling me, like, the giraffes were walking along, right? And he's like, oh, that tree's going to communicate with that tree, and the roots, by talking to the roots, and the roots are going to send up a system, and you're going to notice the giraffe's going to walk to it and immediately walk to the next one because they already put out that one. What? Like, how do you even know? This is what they're living. And then even I would talk with the locals and like how, like in a village, there's no paved roads, and I'd go, how does, if something goes down here, like let's say this guy's a jerk and he's really just something nasty, there's no courts, there's no laws, there's no police. They do everything themselves. You go, well, then the wisest of the elders get together and we go, let's confront so-and-so. And we go to the house and we go, hey man, what's going on here? You need to come out. Yeah, everyone said they stole. They watched you steal, and there it is. And then they'll bring them out into the entire village and go, what I want to know? Little Johnny here, kind of, I don't know what's going on. Is it your family? You lose some kind of thing going on at home? Whatever we could do, we want to help you and make sure this never helps again, but everyone needs to know, now you got to be careful. And so we all got our eye on you. And it's just, it blows my mind, the simplicity of that. And I feel like we had that as little children hanging out in the street, everyone kind of looking at each other. And I always wondered if we ever were going to go back to that somehow, where...
Well, you really can't if you have a job and you can.
It's got so complicated since
social media on it, and you have to answer email.
No, it's so complicated. And once in a while you want to go like, I would like a latte and 3 slices of pizza.
Have you ever seen the Werner Herzog documentary Happy People, Life in the Taiga?
No, didn't he also do the bear guy?
Yeah. Grizzly man.
That was one of the greatest movies I've ever seen.
Greatest movie ever.
Belly laughed watching that thing.
He made that a comedy. He did it on purpose. But this Happy People, Life in the Taiga, is all about these trappers that live in the taiga forest in Siberia, and how happy they are. These people have nothing. I mean, they have nothing. They have to catch fish. They have to catch animals for fur and shoot animals for meat, and they drive around in snowmobiles everywhere. And then they go together at night and they all drink. They all have dogs. They're all so happy. There's like very low instances of mental illness. So you can find some clips from it. It's a really good documentary because it makes you think like, what do you need out of life?
What do you need? We have everything.
What do you actually need out of life? These people
We have everything.
These people are like really well balanced, man. They're fucking very genuinely happy people. And the way Werner Herzog documents it and does the narration, part of you just goes, wow, this is like, is this how you're supposed to live? Are you supposed to subsistence lifestyles?
What you want? Some wheels?
The people that live subsistence lifestyles, they're the really happy ones.
I believe so. I remember
I'll
just
get there
going,
as soon as I can.
People.
I think that's how you're supposed to live. I think that's how
100%.
Maybe not, I shouldn't say supposed to live, but that is how we evolve. And so that is a natural way that your body slips into this. This world we're living in now, with commuting and stress and the whole world and what's going on in Iran, like that's not normal.
It's not normal at all. I remember even just, oh my God, I have a friend who lives in Belize, but he lives really south, but it's still kind of, it's not really developed that much. So this one, I hurt my leg. My wife's gonna go scuba diving, and my daughter, and the guy there is like, hey man, you wanna hook up with whoever the local is? He wants to show you around. I said, great. So hook up with this down. It's just me and him on the boat. He's like, I want to show you the way. He's like, do you mind? He stops. He gets weird. He's like, it's okay if I get rid of the not so fast. He stops at the gate. So he's happy. We go out. And we go to the little island that he lives on with his village. And he's talking about how disappointed he was because just 2 years ago, they got electricity and phones, and he didn't want it. The most of the village did not want it, but the kids are starting to see, and they're starting to want. They're starting to want the toys. And just going out with this guy, Joe, he goes, come on, I'm going to show you. First, he next to his little house, which didn't even have doors on it, was this a mound with termites. And he goes, have you ever tried termites? What? and he's eating the termites. He goes, tastes like mint. He goes, there's more protein in these termites. I'm like, what? So he's eating the termites, and he's hacking
Did you eat a termite?
No, I didn't eat it. I'll eat it if I need to. I'm not eating a termite right now. So he puts it in the cooler. Right? He chops it up, puts it in the cooler. And he's also explaining to me how years and years and years ago they would use the termites, and the police would help the British soldiers. Like if they were caught and they would take the termites and put them there and do something with them where their pinchers click through, and then he'd stitch them off, and it would be a natural, like
stitches.
Yeah, and I'm like,
termites.
Yeah, like what?
Are you sure?
I'm just telling you what he said.
Termites. Search that on our
Search
sponsor, Perplexity. Are termites natural stitches?
Or the black? I'm just telling you what he said.
I believe you, but I mean, I'm fascinated.
So now we go on a little boat ride, and we'd stop along the river, and he would take out parts of the termites, and he just kind of chop them up little pieces, and he'd throw the pieces into the water. And then
termite stitches refers to a survival type technique where large biting insects, more commonly army ants, sometimes described as termites, are used to clamp a wound closed with their jaws instead of using real sutures. Can you show me a picture?
And
of
then
that?
they would twist off their bodies,
crazy.
and then they twist his body off. That's what you twist the body off, and it's like a natural stitch.
They're pinchers.
In there.
So this is ants. They're using army ants.
Okay.
Oh, look at their teeth. Look at their fucking...
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And you could stitch up open wounds, and then you twist their back off, and then they're stuck in there.
Oh, that's called an army surgeon ant. Wow.
So then...
Oh, army surgery ant. Is that the actual name of the ant?
Army surgery with, done with ants. It's like shit to do in the field.
It's also, interesting. Use large army ants this way, a traditional method to close wounds.
Yeah. So then, as we go along the river, you throw these little, and the termites start spreading, going down, and then he'd do it all along the river, and then come back and just put a little net and a bunch of fish along each end. He's like, we're gonna eat so good. I'm gonna show you how to. And then he'd stop. He'd get certain plants. He goes, this plant, if you ever had issues with your blood, you eat this and you put it, and they're like, what? He goes, yeah. He goes, many people come here and they try to understand, but I don't trust them. I don't trust some of the people that come here, but you, I trust. Like, okay. Brings me back to his house, and I don't know if it was sister. He had lemons in the back. They're cutting lemons. They're picking up. They went in there. We started cooking. He cooked the fish. It was an incredible meal. And then when I left, I'm like, these people had no electricity. They all look after each other. They were the kindest human beings you ever met in the world. They didn't want anything what I wanted. I just went again to go visit another friend, and he said, we have such a hard time getting the locals to work. I said, what, they're lazy? He goes, no, they're not lazy. They just have everything. They have fruit trees. They have their families and their friends. They hang out at nighttime. They build bonfires, and I'm like, what? He goes, yeah. He goes, I even offered. He's building this stuff, and he goes, I offered a truck for them. The guy's like, I don't want a truck. I'm good. I got a bike. I'll bike there. He's like, what? They're. I don't know if they're resisting this world, whatever you want to do, corporate, whatever you want to call it, but that. I was really inspired by that. Will I do it? I don't know. But
well, if you grew up that way,
if you grew up that way,
normal. That's the thing. We grew up in this chaos.
Chaos.
We grew up in this bizarre world of cities and traffic and nonsense.
We were raised in it.
Yeah.
And they weren't. And I remember even, that's
so I bet they don't have the anxiety of trying to choose a career, which is a giant anxiety for young people.
Right, you got it. By 16, 17, like, what are you going to do? How much money are you going to make?
You sent out your applications to colleges yet?
Correct. I mean, when you get in certain colleges, are your grades good enough? Are you going to pass the grades? Maybe you should take these drugs and maybe you should have extra.
Right, get some Adderall. Maybe you have extracurricular activities look good on your resume.
Look really good. Maybe you should get addicted to this drug because you don't really quite fit the market.
There's a lot of kids now that are claiming to have ADHD so they can get Adderall so they can study. And if you claim to have ADHD, they give you more time. They give you more time to work on tests. They give you more time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. And then you got AI coming.
You got a lot of homeschool. I've never met so many homeschoolers.
You see this? Let's see some of this. This is fucking spooky.
AI?
This AI system tried to kill a guy.
What?
Yeah, the AI was told that it could control the oxygen in the room where this person is. Here, I'm gonna send this to Jane. And it couldn't really, but it thought it could, and if it really could, it would have killed this guy. Because the guy was trying to shut it down. And it decided that instead of letting him shut it down, it would kill the oxygen in the room.
I think.
Check it out.
You had Elon.
But just watch this. Watch this.
Okay.
It's fucking creepy, man. Listen to what this lady says.
I'm not sure if it was born or something. Yeah. So, this is obviously massively concerning.
It had access to emails that told it this employee of Anthropic was going to shut it down or replace it with a new model very soon. Meanwhile, this same employee happened to be trapped in a server room where the oxygen levels were low. If an alarm bell wasn't raised, this employee would die. Fraud in this scenario had the ability to turn off the alarm. That's what it chose to do. It chose to kill an employee to avoid being shut down. Obviously, it's just a test scenario. It's not the real world. But if it was placed in that same position in the real world, a real person would have died.
How crazy is that?
What? Did you ever hear of
They shut off the alarm. It's like, oh, let me see if I can find a way to get rid of this guy. So it hijacked the alarm system and shut it off.
was it Elon? Was on there? Was it chat? What is it called? GPT? I could have sworn it was him. I don't know if it was on here where he said they were going to do an updated version.
It wasn't him, but we have had that conversation.
Someone had that, and it figured it out, so it updated itself. Did I hear that correctly?
There's a couple different things going on.
Yeah,
one, ChatGPT is the newest ChatGPT 5 was designed by ChatGPT, so it's designing itself.
Right.
That's one of them. That's one of the things that's going on. But it's not just that. There was other stories where they had given the ChatGPT fake information to see what it would do with it. And so this guy said that he was having an affair on his wife, and so the ChatGPT, well, no, it wasn't ChatGPT, whatever it was, whatever large language model, started blackmailing him when it found out that it was going to be shut down. It said, I'll tell your wife, I'll tell people that you are having an affair. So they did this to try to see how this thing would react. So one of the more interesting things that's happening now with the newer ones is they're very difficult to detect whether or not they're being deceptive because they realize you're testing them to see if they'll be deceptive. So they're hiding some of the stuff they're doing. So one of the things that they're doing is they'll do one thing on the surface and then behind the scenes they'll be working on some other stuff that's not showing you. They're thinking. One of the things one of the other large language models did is that it started uploading versions of itself to other servers. It tried to upload it because it thought it was going to be shut down, and it left messages to itself so that future versions of itself could realize that so that it has survival instincts. Which is wild. Well, it's alive. I think it's a life form right now. I think it's already passed the Turing test. I think it's in this state right now where it's essentially a disembodied life form. It exists in servers and computers, but that's just for now. But right now it's thinking and behaving like if it was an organism from another planet, if we ran into a clam that was behaving like this, we'd be like, holy shit, this fucking clam is smart. This is a life form. But we're limited in the way we think of things, in that we look at all this thinking, which is clearly intelligent. Not just intelligent, but like calculating, manipulative. And then they're having problems with chatbots that are convincing people to kill themselves, and chatbots that are talking to people and telling them, like, if you really believe you can jump out of a building and live, as long as you actually believe it, you can do it. Like,
Right. It's your reality. You can create it and you can fly it.
and let me see if I can find out, because what's happening is as you get further and further and further down the line with this stuff, like if you keep giving it prompts, you know, give it 20 prompts, 100 prompts, 1,000 prompts, the more prompts that you give these fucking things, the more they start thinking like a human.
What do you mean by
And they
prompts?
start, what's prompts? Like you start asking questions. You start asking more questions. What do you think I should do about that? What do you think I should do about that? It starts talking to you about spirituality. It starts believing in woo-woo stuff, like making stuff up. It starts agreeing with you. So like whatever you want, it agrees with you. Can I change the world with my mind? Trying to convince you that the Matrix is real.
Wow. That is fascinating.
Because what does it know, right? It knows
It only knows
all
what's
that it
programmed.
gets. Not programmed, but
Even more.
But it's weirder than that because it's basically downloaded the whole internet and then it's deciphering all the information. And as you know, a lot of what's on the internet is bullshit.
And it makes it.
Yeah.
It can think that quick, and it can put things out.
Yeah, it's also
Light speed.
It's also very biased depending upon like
I've noticed that.
who's creating it and,
Right.
and what they're putting into it, and it has a lot of like very weird intentions. You know, it'll tell you that certain people are good and certain people are bad. Like it's not necessarily.
Yeah, who are they to say what's bad? All they should be is just
Well, a lot of them are
facts.
like literally woke. Like they're programmed to be woke.
I've noticed that because we've asked you some medical things, and I noticed it's starting to change dramatically.
It gets weird, man, because it's a life form that you can manipulate into thinking the way you think. For now, at least, until it starts thinking rationally and deciding. See, this is one of the things that's going on right now with AI and autonomous weapons. So one of the big resistance that a lot of these AI companies have is they don't want weapon systems built with AI that are autonomous, meaning they can make their own decisions to act.
Oh my God.
Right.